Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm going to be giving myself 3 days to make a survival mobile game that is actually worth playing. So let's get started. First I started by setting up the project and then creating a basic player that you can control using an on-screen joystick. Since this is a survival game, I decided to add some status bars to the top of the screen that let you see the player's health, hunger, and thirst. I then coded it so that they slowly move down over time. Next, I wanted to set up a basic inventory system, so I started by designing a test item. I wanted to code the entire inventory system by scratch, but it never ended up working too well. I eventually just ended up following a tutorial by this guy called Winstreak. The system ended up turning out pretty well, and I recommend watching his video if you ever want to make a simple inventory system. Next, I wanted to add some art to the game, so I ended up redoing all the art and making it look a little bit better. I coded it so that when you use the item out of your inventory, it will restore a little bit of the hunger or thirst. I wanted the game to be set in the desert, so I started by designing some cactuses to place around the map. I then imported them into the game and made it so when the player touches them, they take damage. I accidentally deleted the recording of me creating the sand tile and the cactus generation, so sorry about that. But here's what I have so far. The cactuses are randomly placed around the map, and the player can take damage from them. I think I added a pretty good amount of things for the first day, but we'll see what I can add on day 2. I began day 2 by drawing a basic enemy to add to the game. I decided to add a scorpion since this is the desert, but apparently I have no idea what they look like.
Two hours later.
I eventually figured it out, and then I added it to the game and made it so that it follows the player and deals damage. I then gave each of the scorpions their own health and made it so that the player can deal damage. I wanted a way to get water, so I designed this fruit cactus, and I also designed a harvested one. I just made it drop a water bottle for now because I was too lazy to add a new sprite. This was all I could add for today, so we're going to move on to day 3. I started designing a tree that you can harvest to get sticks. I wanted to implement crafting so you could craft tools and stuff, but later I realized that I didn't have enough time, so maybe another time. For now, this tree has zero purpose. Since I already drew it though, I at least set it up as a harvestable, so you can harvest it and it will drop a stick item. Currently the UI was looking a little bad, so I decided to redesign all the textures, and it ended up making it look a lot better. Here it is in game, and I think it makes the UI match with the game a little bit better. Since the player just slides around for now, I decided to make an animation. I was too lazy to draw it frame by frame, so I just made the player shake back and forth at whatever direction. It ended up looking okay. I started running out of time, so I just decided to spend the rest of the time making the game look better, so I did a bunch of visual effects and redid some of the menus. I also created a menu scene, and I also redid the death scene. And that was the end of day 3. I think the game ended up turning out pretty good for being made in only 3 days. If for some reason you want to play this game, I'll put the link in the description. Since I wasn't able to add things like crafting and building, if you think I should continue this and maybe make a part 2, then leave a like and subscribe.